What's up, everybody? You were tuned in to the Cris
And Mal.
podcast, episode 130, Takeover Wednesdays. Hope everybody's having a good night. Whatever you're doing, you're at home, you're at work, whatever you're doing, we appreciate you tuning in to the show. I know it's late night for some of y'all it's midnight, but we appreciate you still tuning in. We got a lot of things to get into. I'm going to talk about Caitlin Clark and her statements about her being white privileged. I'm going to talk about Jaleel White and his thoughts on family matters. And, we're going to talk about some other sports stuff, NFL picks. Um, yeah, man, we got a lot of things to get into. Before we do that, Maul, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just making it through the day. Enjoying it, man. We're getting ready for this episode we have tonight, man. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. I can't complain, man. You know, we also got a new segment that I will be introducing tonight. So stay tuned, people.
Yes. Let's see. Let's we'll see what it is for sure.
So, all right, man, let's get into the NBA, man. The NBA trade market is starting to heat up a little bit. We're starting to hear rumors of
Yeah.
uh, uh what's his name, Butler,
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Buckets. We're hearing maybe some quarrels about LeBron James being traded, and
Hmm.
uh, you are our NBA correspondent, so tell me, man. I mean, one of them is kind of a direct link to you, and then the other one is not. So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on these trades being rumored by was it Shams?
Sham Sharani, you know what I'm saying? K Adams, Sod Boo. Um the Jimmy Butler one, I'm not surprised. We were kind of hearing about the possibilities of Jimmy Butler possibly being moved, especially after those comments that Pat Riley made at the end of the year for them. I mean, he wasn't really too pleased with some of the things that Jimmy Butler has been doing, the inconsistencies and playing in the season, not giving. I want to say not giving full effort because we all know Jimmy Butler gives 110% anytime he steps on that floor. So I don't want to say all that, but I just think it's time. I think the Miami Heat need a makeover. I know they've been kind of fishing for some big fish. You know what I mean? I know they've been kind of waiting on maybe possibly Giannis having the potential of getting traded, but it seems like the Bucks seem like they got their ducks in a row. Giannis and Dame, those are two big names that were kind of linked to the Miami Heat as possible trades to upgrade this team. But you know what, Jaime Jaquez, I like him as a young talent. You still got Tyler Hero. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if you might even start hearing his name maybe being possibly in trade rumors as well. But right now, I think it's the focus is all on Jimmy Butler. I think he will be kind of like the highlight of this trade deadline in February. There's a lot of names. Like obviously, you do hear things about LeBron James. My Lakers. We do need to do something for our team. Our team is just it's not looking really good right now. Defensively, we are pretty pathetic right now. I know middle school teams who defend better than the Lakers at this current moment in time. So we definitely need to get some defensive pieces, i.e., like a big man. We also need some wing defenders as well. We got D'Lo. We got D'Lo's contract. We got Rio Hachimura's contract. Gabe Vince's contract. Look, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Like I'm personally at a point with this Lakers team that I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a semi rebuild. If LeBron James wants to go to let's say the Golden State Warriors, I say go for it. You know what I mean? I think it's about time. I don't think this team is going to go anywhere, especially at LeBron's age. You know what I mean? Yeah, he still, has nights where he gives us 30, 10, and 10, but we're barely squeaking wins past the Jazz and all that. And yeah, maybe if there were some pieces that would play better, i.e., Gabe Vincent not giving us zeros across the board, D'Lo with his inconsistencies. We got Austin Reeves who hasn't played in almost 2 weeks now. Vando, we don't know when he's coming back. Christian Wood, he's been out with injuries as well. And then obviously we got to hope AD can just survive the season. You know what I mean? Luckily he was lucky enough, I would say, that he made it for the majority of last year. But with all these minutes logging on, it seems like he's kind of slowing down. compared to that hot start. He had like an MVP start to the season. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird with him. So hopefully Rob Pelinka just gets out that office. I don't know if he need to get out of that tan in bed, whatever he needs to do, start making calls, do something, bro. Because this is
tan in bed.
Laker Nation is we're over this shit, bro. Like you don't even talk right now. Like we need something. Jeannie Buss, like you're beautiful. I bless you, but we need y'all to do something. But I'll just run down a couple names. Like I think the Bulls and the possibility of maybe Zach LaVine. You got Nikola Vucevic. I think you might hear those names in the trade. The Pacers. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear maybe the names of like Miles Turner being possibly up for a trade. Hornets. LaMelo Ball. I want LaMelo Ball to be free. Like LaMelo Ball is a talent. I love LaMelo Ball's game. A lot of people have been kind of linking him possibly going to the San Antonio Spurs and playing with Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul, maybe put Chris Paul maybe on the bench, something like that, and have LaMelo be the starter, or he can even be the 2 guard, I would say. But I actually really like that trade. I don't know if LaMelo Ball want to go to San Antonio. I don't know. Like, look, I got family in San Antonio. I love my family, but like, I don't know about that.
Shout out to everybody in San Antonio, man.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do the Charles Barkley skit, but I understand what he's kind of saying. But anyways, Wizards, Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma. Blazers, Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant. The Warriors, obviously, with Kuminga. They're kind of showcasing him, putting him in the starting lineup. You definitely will hear his name in trades. The Suns, look out for Bradley Beal. You're starting to hear a little bit more rumors about possibly maybe them potentially moving on from Bradley Beal and Jimmy Butler being the target. People have said the numbers would match. I know the Suns are kind of in the second apron, so it's really, really hard they really have to match the numbers to a T for them to do any kind of trade. They can't take on more money or anything like that. So I from what I read, I don't know if it's really true, but it seems like a trade with Bradley Beal and maybe some assets would work to get Jimmy Butler over to the Suns. I don't know if that fixes the Suns' problems. Like I said, like the Suns, the only thing with the Suns for me is they're top three heavy. Like if Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant are healthy and they're playing, they could be anybody, even the Celtics. They could be anybody. They're that lethal on offense. And but I just think they just have too many holes and depth wise, I just don't think it's too good. Like when you start telling me Mo Bamba is going to be a key cog to your team, I think you got issues. And then a surprise one, I think you got to look out De'Aaron Fox. You got to look. He did not sign his contract extension that he could have signed in the offseason. The Kings have not been playing well. I think that's a name that you can also look out for. I think it'll be kind of hard to trade him before the trade deadline. I think that might be something in the offseason, or he might even be able to opt out of his contract. I got to double check, but I think that's a name you really got to look at that could potentially be moving to a new team. Obviously, with these new rules, with everything, I think it's going to be a lot harder for a lot of people to do these trades with some of these teams, but I think we can still see some fireworks this trade deadline.
Okay, for sure. So you really want LeBron about it there, huh?
I just think we got to come to a reality of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, look, I'm not LeBron's number one fan, but I do respect what he's done for this league. I'm not going to sit here and deny what he has done. Like, he's a great, great player. And he for sure deserves to be, on the Mount Rushmore for what he's done. You know what I'm saying? I definitely would put him up there with the Kobe's, Michael Jordans, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird's, guys like that for sure. But let's call a spade, man. Like, we're not winning a championship with this team. We're not winning I don't care who you put on this team, unless you can miraculously find a way to put Steph Curry on this team or something like that. Like, I just don't see LeBron James able to carry this team to a chip. I just don't. Not with the likes of the Oklahoma City Thunder. We just saw the Houston Rockets and that young team flying around. You still have the Minnesota Timberwolves. I know they haven't been playing well, but you still got to look at them. We still have our struggles with the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic, even though they haven't been playing well. We all know all those players on the Denver Nuggets play us like Game 7 every time. So I just think it just comes to a realization that this team it's just not going to make it. LeBron James is getting older and older. We don't know. I assume he's only going to be playing maybe one more year after this year. And he played with his son. He's playing with his son in the league. So I just think it's time. I think it's time to truly give this the keys to Anthony Davis. Let's get some youth on this team. Let's get some draft picks, and let's start building this team right. And then maybe free some cap space, and then maybe down the line, if another true superstar is to become available, then maybe we can potentially go down that road and get that said superstar. But I think right now with LeBron James, if he wants to do the trade to go to the Warriors, make it happen. Now, if he wants to stay and finish out his career, then let him do that too. Like, I'm not going to go either way, but sooner or later, this Lakers team, Rob Pelinka and Jeanie Buss, they need to start acting on the future and stop going by what LeBron James wants and needs, because at the end of the day, he's not going to be around, and we got to stop depreciating our assets and running us dry for LeBron James, because I just don't think it's worth it anymore.
For sure. Who do you think needs it the most?
The trade the most?
Besides your Lakers.
I would say it comes down to either the Warriors and the Suns. I think they really need to make a trade. I don't know what the Suns can do. I think they're so tight and limited on what they can do. I just don't know what they can do, unless if it's maybe that possibility doing a Jimmy Butler trade. Mm-hmm. But I think it's the Warriors. I think with some of the young assets that they have with Kuminga, Moody, Podziemski, I think they still have quite a few amount of first round picks. I think that's the play. You only got so many years left with Draymond Green and Steph Curry, and Steph Curry's still giving you Steph numbers. Draymond Green is still playing defense at an elite level, maybe not as consistent, but he's still giving you that kind of quality. I think if I had to give you an answer, I would say it's the Golden State Warriors. That I think they do need to make a trade. I think what we see with the game tonight, they have trouble with bigger sized opponents. They had troubles with getting offensive rebounds, turnovers. Has always been a Warriors thing, but I think Steph needs some help. He needs some real solid help as far as on the offensive side of the ball. Defense, obviously, they could always get a little bit better, but I think they do need to find another scorer to help out Steph Curry.
For sure, brother. For sure. All right, man. Let's talk about your favorite player on the WNBA, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
She had a recent interview in Time Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and play this clip.
I feel like so much has happened over the course of last year, from when I started my last college season and not knowing if that would actually be my last season, whether I was deciding to come back to college or turn pro, and now sitting here like I'm done with my first professional season, and so much has happened. And whether it was, making the national championship game or getting the Fever back to the playoffs since 2016, there's just a lot to be proud of. And it all happened so fast, like it's hard to appreciate in the moment and kind of understand in the moment, but it's been fun to reflect on. I'm definitely more aware of signs than people think I am, and I think it's something really cool to look around before the game and see, young girls, young boys, and the signs that they're holding. So I think for me, the coolest ones are the signs that are, I traveled this far, I got this as my birthday present, or whatever it is. Like the young girls, it's like families or parents or friends or whoever it is are spending a lot of time and money to travel all this way just to have an opportunity to spend 2 hours watching me play basketball. It kind of puts everything into perspective. So I would say I really love those. Best concert, I would say Taylor Swift. And I wasn't even a Swiftie before going, but I think after seeing like the way she performs for 3 hours straight and the whole production, the outfits she wears, the way she doesn't stop singing, dancing, like it's just incredible. Like you're kind of just in awe after you leave. So maybe I am a full Swiftie now, I guess. If I had to pick any outfit that I've worn over the last year, I'd probably pick my draft outfit. That was one we found a day before the draft, and it was like, ugh. They actually didn't, I'm pretty sure they didn't have that set, the jacket and the skirt, in the United States anywhere else. So we're like, obviously we have to wear this. And then Prada hadn't dressed anybody, men or women, for the WNBA or NBA. So it was like pretty exciting.
Didn't get the clip that I wanted to get, my bad, y'all. But she pretty much in the interview, she talked about her white privilege and her knowing that she does have white privilege. She worked hard to get where she was at, but she understands that the game was built on, the backs of black women, and that she wants to help highlight that, those women who helped build this game, which is the WNBA. And, she says she understands that her, how she, she, like I said, she worked hard where she got where she is. But like I said, she understands that she does have a little bit of white privilege, that helped her along the way. So, what are your thoughts on those statements?
I've seen people have conversations about this. Some people have been at an uproar. Even even some black people have been kind of upset at her making these kind of statements. But I think it's the reality of it. I think people need to stop running away from this conversation. Like, the reality is there is white privilege. That is the reality of it. We see it in history books. It's been a test to time, especially built on this country. But the reality is, I applaud her for making these statements. I could be, kind of nitpicking and be like, I wish she could have made these, earlier in the season when it was kind of heated, when she first started in the league. And, we had a lot of back and forth going on and dialogue going on about the league and how she's carrying this league. And we kind of like just shitting on every other player that has built this league up. But I'm gonna give her a plot. I know I've been really hard on Caitlin Clark, and don't get me wrong. Like, I know I go hard on her, but the reality is she is a dominant face in our league. Like, she is growing our game single handedly. We see it. You know what I mean? We see it with the ratings. We see it with the excitement that she brings to our game, and it's beautiful. I'm so excited that the WNBA is growing. I know they do have a lot of work left to do, especially with some of the numbers that have came out at the end of the year. But I do applaud her. Like, it just shows to me that she does recognize the things that are going on around her. She kind of speaks to that with, just even the simplest things of seeing the signs and appreciating the people that come just to see her watch play basketball for 2 hours out of 2 hours. You know what I mean? Traveling long ways. You know what I mean? Like, I wish more and more players would acknowledge that. So I do give her kudos for that. I do congratulate her for being the athlete of the year for Time Magazine. I think she deserves it. She's been the most popular, especially in our country. She's probably been the most dominant sports figure in any sport. You know what I mean? So we got to tip our cap off to her, and I'm happy she acknowledged it. And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to be the number one Caitlin Clark fan, but it makes me a little bit more at ease that she does acknowledge things like this. And I think people shouldn't be upset about it. You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, she did work hard to get where she at, because obviously if she didn't, she wouldn't be in the position that she is. People wouldn't be appreciating the type of player that she is as well. So just give her kudos and congratulations for all of her accomplishments and moving forward.
Yeah, when I heard this, it sounded like, she sat back and kind of had to and reflect on her season. And when you get open to different people, not to say that she wasn't in college, because of course in college you're going to meet different people,
Yeah.
but I think when you get to the real world, which WNBA, you're now grown up now, so you're now dealing with different women. And the W is predominantly black women, so she's got to deal with that, and she sees it every day. She sees maybe what Aaliyah Boston is going through, what some of her other teammates on the team is going through. She sees from
Angel
afar that
Reese. Yeah.
the Angel Reeses, the Asia Wilsons, national media trying to downplay, you know, some of these women. I heard a podcast where they tried to make it seem like where they say she's the best, and Asia Wilson, she's just tall, and it's like, what?
It's
she
crazy.
just, she just tall. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but it just seemed like she just had a time of reflection. She had a time to sit back, because we got to keep it real, man. She's been playing basketball on a nonstop rate. You know what I'm saying? Ever since the national championship. Like, she's been going hard, and then she had to go straight into the NBA season. So WNBA season. So this is probably the first time she's able to just breathe. You know what I'm saying? Just take a deep breath, reflect. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that she's not working hard and trying to get better, but you know what I'm saying? Like, she just got the time to sit back and reflect. Be like, oh, you know what? I see what they say. I see how people can feel this way about me. You know what I'm saying? Um, and people don't like to acknowledge white privilege. Oh, what is white privilege? It's prominent in this world. You know what I'm saying? And in everyday life, we see it every day. That white people have different advantages than us people of color. Black people, Mexicans, Asian. Whatever. They got a little bit different privileges than us because
Yeah.
there's more predominantly more than. I mean, now it's starting to change. But for the most part, white people are the predominant race in America. So they have different privileges. They have different things that they have access to that we may not have access to, or we have to do certain things to get access to. So, but I'm not gonna get all deep dive into that. But as far as Caitlin Clark goes and the W goes, I do appreciate that she acknowledges that she does have white privileges, and any Caucasian person who does something that is predominantly white or predominantly black people do, and they do it exceptionally well, the Eminems of the world, who he's in a predominantly black music genre, but he
Mhm.
does it so exceptionally well, he stands out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So um and other thing, we've seen other white athletes who have stuck out, what I'm saying, in black predominant roles and have played at a high level. Larry Bird, you know what I'm saying, like guys like that, and they stick out, you know what I'm saying. So but they I'm sure they acknowledge that, I look exceptional, I stand out a little bit because of the color of my skin. So uh,
Yeah.
but shout out to Caitlin Clark for highlighting, what I'm saying, all this. And, going forward, I think that a lot of hopefully, the other women in the WNBA appreciate this and maybe look at her in a new light, you know what I'm saying? And, they can go forward from here.
No, I agree with you. Like, I kind of had to remind myself that it was just so fast paced for her.
Mhm.
Getting being in a national championship, getting drafted, going into the league, starting the season up, everything just moving at a fast pace. You know what I mean? So I do have to acknowledge that to her. So yeah, I agree. Maybe I maybe agree that at the moment she couldn't recognize it because of just how so much going on in her life and
Mhm.
her traveling and being established in a new city that she wasn't really accustomed to, and dealing with new teammates, new team, new traveling arrangements, and all that, a new league. I get it, you know what I'm saying. And her being able at the end of the season to sit down, reflect, and to speak these thoughts thoroughly. um, I just really hope that her fan base acknowledges her words and tries to better understand where this league has come and established, because a lot of her fans are new fans of this league.
Mhm.
We this is a reality of it. So if you want to be new fans of a league, if you want to be new fans of something, take the time to educate the history on this league, said league. Learn about the Cynthia Coopers, learn about the Lisa Leslies, learn about the Cheryl Millers, and all the and Teresa Witherspoons, and all these ladies who helped build this league, to the likes of the Asia Wilsons now, the Candace Parkers, and now her. She's another embodiment to the foundation of what this league can potentially become. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I know a lot of people like to say, these black women are hating on her and stuff. I really truly believe black culture is one that it learns to accept people real quick. If you got game, if you got skill, if you cool, you a decent person, I think black people will be the first people to acknowledge any of that, no matter what color, creed, skin, religion, sexual orientation you are. I think we are open to that. And I think people need to understand that. We are welcoming in the hip hop community. We see it with white artists all the time. I think we're
Mhm.
welcoming in the NBA and other sports like that. We you know what I mean? Like, we try to be, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like black people are perfect, but I think for the most part, we really try to be accepting to a lot of other people. You know what I mean? I think a
Mhm.
lot of the situations that we do have to other races, I think it's more of a defensive mechanism than anything else. But we could get deeper into that in another conversation.
Mhm.
But as I said, at the end of the day, man, I will be the first one to applaud her. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been hard on her, but I will applaud her for these statements. And I'm gonna try to be less. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more understanding of what she's going through, because I know she's going through. Like, I can only imagine what she goes through on a day-to-day basis with that type of publicity and that type of fandom. I know it could be hard. You know what I mean? Especially at the age that she is. And for the most part, I think she's handled it really well, really
Yeah.
graceful. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I will commend her on that. So I just hope her fan base understands what she's trying to say and not beat her up, because now I'm starting to see people beat her up because of some of the comments that she said, and it's kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? I think the first step is to just own what the reality is in today's society, and then just build on that, and then try to use your blessings to try to help others. I don't think that's so hard. You know what I mean? Like, we get it. White people do have privilege in certain aspects of life, but you can use that privilege to help better other communities, your friends, i.e., I'm pretty sure, we got white brothers and sisters that, that do try to help our community and help Mexican community and the Asian community and so forth and so forth. So, I think people can just better educate themselves. I think it could go a long way in pushing this forward in dialogue and conversations to, help better communities and society as a whole.
Yeah, for sure, man. As far as the whole, Caitlin Clark fans may not be WNBA fans. That's a whole nother. I think that's a whole nother. It's like
Yeah.
the conversations we had with Drake. Not every Drake fan is a hip hop fan. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
true. Yeah.
they're not gonna, do every. Not to make it about my team. Not every not every Swifty is a Chiefs fan. There, you know what I'm saying?
But that's the reality of it, though. But the hope is that, yeah, you may not be a fan of this sport or this league, but with you being a fan of this specific person, player, or whoever that is involved in a sport, hopefully, as you start learning and understanding the sport and you watch it, you become a really true fan, and then you start taking the time to, like, all right, yeah, I know I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, but let me check out Asia Wilson. Let me check out Cameron
Sabrina
Brink. Let me
Ionescu.
check out Let me check out Sabrina Ionescu and those ladies. Let me check out what the Dallas Wings got going on. Like, there's great female athletes all over the WNBA, and the hope is that people will just take their time to maybe, like, oh, yo, I actually fuck with old girl in Dallas. I actually like old girl's game over in Vegas, or the Sparks, or the Seattle Storm, or whoever, and that gives you the opportunity to grow the game, because any sport foundation starts in the family home. You know what I mean? Like it starts from, you passing it down generation to generation to your kids, to family, friends, and all that. Like, you know what I mean? Like your family. Like, I'm assuming that you're not the only Chiefs fan that's in your family. You know what I'm saying? So it's a household thing that becomes like tribalism type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like college football. Like, that's tribal shit. You know what I mean? NFL fans, NBA fans, that's tribal shit. So, like, Laker Nation, Chiefs Kingdom, like, that stuff is embodied in you for the rest of your life. Like, you're gonna be a Chiefs fan to the day you die, and then I'm sure you're gonna try to pass it on to your son. Like, you would hope he could be a Chiefs fan. I think that you're gonna let him choose what he want to choose. You're gonna look at him a little sideways if he become a Raider fan, but you would hope, homie, who become a Chiefs fan. But at the end of the day, it's just proper educating other people, being established in a new sport or whatever, and hopefully they can just take that and also help grow the game, because as fans we also help grow this game. It's not just the players, it's not just these teams, and we also are a part of these sports organizations growing and becoming relevant and prevalent in our society.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. The video game awards is coming up.
Yeah.
And you got some nominations. I'm gonna let you read them off, and we'll break it down.
All right, man. So we can start off. Let's see. Let's see. Let me get some categories up. All right, so we'll start off with this. Best sports game. We have F1 24, we have EA Sports FC 25, we have NBA 2K 25, Top Spin 2K 25, and WWE 2K 24. Who you got winning that?
Read them again.
F1, the racing game, 24. We have EA Sports FC 25. That's like FIFA. NBA 2K 25. Top Spin 2K 25. That's tennis. You know, it has Serena on the cover. And then WWE 2K 24.
It'll probably be the FIFA game.
Think FIFA. I think it'll probably be NBA 2K 25. Even though
Okay.
you see online people hate that game so goddamn much.
I don't like it either.
I'm not. Man, I've been playing a lot of it, but all right. Next up, best fighting game. We have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We have Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. We have Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. We have Multiverses, and then Tekken 8.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Marvel versus Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. I think it's gonna be Tekken 8. I think that's been kind of the best fighting game that I would say that's been talked about as far as like in the gaming community.
Right.
Next up, best action / adventure. We have Astrobot. We have Prince of Persia: Lost the Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Who you got?
Been hearing a lot of good things about the Silent Hill game, so I'm gonna say Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. I'm gonna go with Silent Hill. I know people will probably assume it could be Legend of Zelda. I don't know why Star Wars Outlaws is on this because it didn't start off too good. But you know. Let's see. Best action game. We have Black Myth Wukong. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 6. We have Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and then Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Who you got?
Okay, so look. I'm gonna say Call of Duty because it just came out and it's kind of what have you done for me lately type thing.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of the year, if you'd asked me this question, it'd been Helldivers.
I agree with you. Like Helldivers at the beginning was heading towards being one of the better games of the year for sure. I don't know what happened. I don't know what the developers did. I know me and you were kind of on it heavy,
Man,
and we kind of lost pace
every day.
Yeah, but some of the updates that they did, it kind of slowly kind of drifted me off of it. And then I guess they totally broke the game. I know they've been kind of trying to rework everything and try to get the community back up, but we all know that's pretty hard in today's society. Once you lose people, I think it's pretty hard. Black Myth Wukong was amazing. I really love that game. I haven't finished it yet, but that was one of the better games for me. I haven't played Stellar Blade. I heard amazing things about Stellar Blade. I want to eventually play that. And Warhammer, I heard great things about it too. But I'm gonna go with Black Myth Wukong because that's just the game I played, and I thought it was amazing.
Okay.
Next up, we got let's see. Let's do best art direction. We have Astrobot, we have Black Myth Wukong, we have Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, we have Metaphor, and Neva. Who do you got?
I guess I'm gonna go with Black Myth Wukong because I ain't played now one of them other games.
A lot of these games are like, indie games. Neva, I've never played it. I heard about it. It looks like a beautifully artistic type of game. But I'm gonna go with Elden Ring. I think that game is just one of the best, man. Let's go best game direction. Astrobot's in a lot of these nominations. Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor. Who you got?
Probably Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Final Fantasy too. All right, two more. Most anticipated game. We have Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yodi, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metro Prime 4, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
Bro, this and that. It shouldn't even be a question. You know what game is the most anticipated? Say, damn Grand Theft Auto when it comes out in 2028.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto is easily the winner, even though I am pretty excited about Ghost of Yodi. Part
Yeah.
2 of Ghost of Tsushima. I am really excited about that. Obviously, I've played Metro games before. I haven't played them in a while, but I do understand the impact of that game
Yeah,
and
my son
why
plays
people would
that
be
heavy.
excited. Yeah, I can understand why people would definitely be excited. Monster Hunter Wild 2. I also understand why this game is nominated for most anticipated game. I know a lot of people who play this game. I see it all the time. I be seeing mad people playing on Twitch. I know a lot of people are playing the beta of that game and
Mhm.
had raving reviews of that. I don't know if I can get into that. I might try it. You know what I mean? If there's like, kind of like a free demo type of thing, give it a shot. As far as Death Stranding, I know, look, I love Hideo Kojima. I don't understand Death Stranding at all, at all. So, I don't know if you like a package person or something. I don't know what it is, but it's a very beautiful game. But all right, last we got game of the year. We have Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor. Who you got?
Probably gonna go with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy too. That game was really amazing. I know a lot of people were kind of upset about Elden Ring because it won, I think, last year. This is pretty much just the DLC, but that was an amazing DLC. And I'm happy Black Myth Wukong got some love. So yeah. Do you think before we head off to this topic, what kind of surprises do you think we'll get? What kind of announcements do you think we'll get from the Video Games Awards? What would you like to see?
I don't know, man. Like, I really don't know any games that I'm really like. Of course, I'm always gonna be hyped if we get anything on Last of Us 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we already know we're getting Assassin's Creed finally next year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe we get an update on Fight Night.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, that's pretty much it, man. Because I mean, I don't really know any other games that I could say I'm really anticipating. You know what I'm saying? Like other than the games that we just talked about, Grand Theft Auto and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
there's really not any, games like I would have to see like a trailer of it and be like, "Oh, that looks
Yeah.
interesting." Like I haven't had. It's been a while since I've had a game that's new that sparked my interest. You know what I'm saying? It's always the classics that I see the title, I'm gonna play it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I have quite a few. I really hope that we get to see new development on the Marvel Wolverine game. I
Okay, yeah,
definitely would
yeah.
want to see that. I know
Blade one too. The Blade one too.
Blade. I definitely want to hear more about that. I know those games were announced, I think, like a couple years ago. So I would definitely like to see, how it's looking, gameplay, stuff like that. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, where the hell is it at? I need
Yeah,
to see
for
that
real.
game. Y'all announced it. I was expecting it to come out later this year. It
Me
didn't,
too.
which I'm not surprised, but I was hoping it would come out later this year. Hopefully it comes out quarter 1 of next year. So hopefully we get an announcement and a release date for that game. Um, I would also would like to see new GTA 6 footage, maybe even possibly get a release date tomorrow.
Mm,
I would definitely like to see that. I definitely want to see more Assassin's Creed gameplay. I did
mm.
see bits and clips of it on Twitter. I think it looks really good. I know people are kind of complaining, oh, it looks like they're copying Ghost of Tsushima. I'm like, look, out of any game, wouldn't you want it to copy Ghost of Tsushima? Because we all love that goddamn game. It just has
Most
its
of the
own.
game, and let's be real, y'all. A
Yeah.
lot of those games have the same type of movement. They do the same shit.
What's so much?
It's only so much new. Nas got a song, ain't nothing original, bro. Like, how much do
Yeah.
you want them to do? Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's just like I'm very excited to see the different environments that we get. What I mean, the flow of the game, all that type of stuff. You all know Assassin's Creed games. Them shits take like 100 hours to kind of beat. So
mhm,
I think that's one I haven't beaten an Assassin's Creed game in a long time, but I think that's one I really am gonna like just really deep dive in on. Obviously, I'll definitely want to hear what you said. I want to know what Naughty Dog is doing. I kind of
mhm.
want to know that. I would love any new game announcements. Like I know Sucker Punch is working on that, but I hope one day that they kind of revisit Infamous. I know we're not going to get anything about that, but I would really love, and then maybe in the next couple years, that they kind of revisit the Infamous series. I do love that series. Also, I would love to see any new fighting game. You know what I mean? Like any new fighting game get an announcement. I would also love it if they announce like a college basketball 2K college basketball game, because obviously we got the EA Sports college football. I would love to see them hopefully announce a college basketball game. You know, I know there's more on top of my head, but I'm excited for the Video Game Awards. You know, I'm always excited, especially with the new trailers, new game announcements, and stuff like that.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. So it'll be tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow in mid-afternoon or something. So I'll definitely watch it when I get home after work. But I'm definitely excited to see what happens, man. And congratulations to anybody who wins their awards, man. I know a lot of y'all, you know, put a lot of hard work, sweat, blood, and tears into these video games, and I know a lot of people don't really appreciate it because we're so senile at times with these video games and very picky. But I do wish video gamers would just, you know, just appreciate some of the games. Obviously, all these games aren't perfect, but I know these developers really tried, and you know, with certain aspects, you know, it can be impossible with, you know, production and stuff like that. And these games are very expensive, so you know, I look forward to it tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's do our bet US surefire picks, man.
Let's do it.
All right, man. What you got?
So for tomorrow, I got the Rams +3. I think this is a big game for them. It's a big game for both teams, but I think it's more so for the Rams. I think they really have a legit shot to win this division and make the playoffs. But I know it's a must-win game for both of these teams. But I just think the Rams could be the better team right now, especially with all the injuries that the 49ers have. So I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going to go with the Dolphins +3. I low-key like this game with them. I think they play the Texans. I'm going to go with them. No, they don't play Texans. Do they play Texans? I think they do.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yes, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I'm taking Panthers money line over the Dallas Cowboys. I'm taking that, and then I'm taking the Seahawks +2.5. I like the Seahawks. I like how they've been playing. I like them over the Packers.
Okay. I'm gonna take the +3 with the Rams also, and I'm also gonna take the over. I think they're gonna score a lot of points in this game. So. And I don't think nobody could. When the Rams are on, you just can't stop them, man.
That's true. Yep.
Ain't no stopping them. I'm gonna take the Commanders money line. I think they're coming off of a bye week. I think they got enough rest. I think they're gonna come out ready to go, rock and roll. Whatever they revamp some things, you know, on the offensive defensive side. I think Marshawn Lattimore is playing in this game too, so we'll get to see his debut. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Commanders money line. I'm going over on that Texas and Dolphins game. I think they're going way over.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I'll take Baltimore first half. I just think they're gonna slaughter them in the first half and then take their foot off the gas like they always do.
For sure.
If you go to any of our social media platforms, you will see the link for the Bet US website. You click on it. This is first time users only. You go in, you sign up. You go into the promo part. It says promo code. You put join 125. You get 125% sign-in bonus and a 10% gambler's insurance because they got other things on the website. But the 125% signing bonus gets you 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits, up minimum $100 up to $5,000. What does that mean, Chris? That means that your first 3 bets that you bet, let's just say you put $100 on all 3, and you lose, you keep your money. You don't even lose it. So, what better way to start off your betting career or whatever you want to call it, than go to Bet US. Sign up, and you know what I'm saying? You ain't got risk losing your money your first 3 times you bet. So go on over there, make you some money, and tell them Chris Lamar sent you.
Yep.
So that is our Bet US Sure by Pigs. All right, man. I want to talk about Mr. Jaleel White, Family Matters. Now, if people don't know, there's some kids out there that, never watched Family Matters. It was a show that me and Maul grew up on when we were young kids. Come on TGIF every Fridays with a litany of other shows.
Hmm.
Um, there was a character on there named Steve Urkel. He was a pop culture, 90s name that, we all grew up on. We all know who Steve Urkel. He was the character that Jaleel White was the guy who played. And he had an interview. Uh, like, um, Family Matters not being recognized. I'm gonna play this clip real quick.
Being a part of the TGIF brand sometimes makes you feel like you don't completely belong in the pantheon of blackness. You know, blackness has been treated as a very monolithic experience in entertainment. You know, if it's not a hood story, it's not a black story. And you know, sometimes I feel left out of that. You know, so it's like you know, like if there's ever a poll and they say, "Oh, what are your favorite black shows?" and you know, Martin is in there or Living Single or any of those guys, I already know we coming in last. But if there's ever a poll and it's just like your favorite family shows and suddenly Martin's not in there or whatever, all of a sudden we rank really high. And so it's kind of interesting in how we look at ourselves, to be quite honest, even as black folks. And somehow I became a symbol for black male nerd culture, to be quite honest. I mean, I know this for a fact. Any brother that grew up in the 80s and 90s, well, 90s and 2000s, wearing glasses, he was told at school he looked like me. He was called Urkel. And he didn't look anything like me, guaranteed. But still, his peers would find a way to call him Urkel, and even girls to that extent.
I know he's promoting his new book. I kind of want to read his book. Some of the things that he went through.
That cover was nasty though. that cover. Boy, that boy got to change that cover, bro. That shit's crazy.
Yeah. If you don't know, like, just to have a quick, I've heard him speak on this a few times, and I've heard, other people, cast members speak on this show. People don't know that Family Matters was a spin-off show. It was a spin-off of a show called Perfect Strangers. People don't know what Perfect Strangers is, look it up. Um, Harriet and Carl were actually on that show, and they were the characters that we all come and know, Carl and Harriet Winslow. So the show was centered around them and their family. With the episode that Urkel was on, he kind of took over.
Mm-hmm.
And the ratings started going up. Whenever he was on the show, the ratings would go up. So finally, the people was like, yeah, we're going to go this direction. And it did cause turmoil. It caused a lot of stuff with Harriet, with Carl, with all of them. They had a little vitriol towards, Jaleel White because he pretty much took over their show. Um, but as far as the show itself, look, we all know if you grew up in that time, Full House, Step by Step, were all written by the same people who did Family Matters. And yes, did Family Matters have episodes? I remember the episode where they were in high school and one of Laura's friends got shot, and they was trying to, promote, the, stopping the gun violence and all that stuff. So they've had episodes where they've dealt with, issues in the black community and things of that nature. But and yes, they were a black family, but we never looked at Family Matters as like, oh, that's a black show. We just looked at it as a show. It was a family show because not only did black people watch Family Matters, white people watch Family Matters, Asians watch Family, Mexicans, everybody watched Family Matters because at the end of the day, it was centered around Stephen Urkel. And you know what I'm saying? It was more of a silly comedy show of him. He comes in and knocking stuff over and doing all kinds of silly stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, there were the episodes where he got to be Stefan Urkel, you know what I'm saying? And it was a little bit more, he was a little bit more cool, I guess you want to say, for that time. But I never looked at Family Matters, well, that's the black show. Martin was a black show. Leaving Single was a black show. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my whole opinion. So as far as him feeling left out of those, and then let's just keep it real, those shows are better shows than Family Matters.
Yeah.
Martin is better than Family Matters. Living Single is better than Family Matters. Jamie Foxx show, like, I can go on and on. There's been the list would be long. The Cosby Show was better than Family. Like, we can go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? Of shows that are better than before I get to Family Matters. So I respect Jaleel White, but sir, I'm sorry. Your shows, Family Matters, was cool when I was growing up, and even used to watch the reruns when it came on TBS. But at the end of the day, it's not better than the shows that you name.
I have a problem with some of the things that he said in his comments. Like, it ain't a black show unless if it's like a hood story. Like, that's not really the case, my brother. Like, do we forget A Different World?
Yeah.
Do we forget the Bill Cosby Show? Do we forget
like
Parenthood? Do we forget like some of these shows, man? Like, some of them shows weren't based on hood stuff. Like,
I don't even think if people don't remember Rock. They were in the hood, but they weren't. It wasn't a hood show. It was about a man who was a garbage man who made an earnest living.
yeah, and even in like certain aspects of like, I guess hood shows, if you want to say, like, even Martin, he was a DJ, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, where they're like, did he have like certain people on the show, like characters that like, had ghetto tendencies and shit? Yeah, but like, that's just certain communities that we
But I
did
don't
have.
think it was a hood. I wouldn't.
I don't think it was like a hood show.
Gina,
though, you know what I'm saying?
was a top marketing worked for a top marketing firm.
So it was Pam. Pam worked with her. So like, you know what I mean? So obviously Tommy, we didn't know what the hell he did, but like, he tried, but he always had money in his pocket. So that's all that matters. He was a smooth dude. So but like, yeah, man, Different World was based on kids going to college. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Cosby was like the true definition of a middle class family home. You know what I mean? Like, up class family home, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and black people love that show. Like, I get it, especially with the history of, some of the things that Bill Cosby did. The Cosby Show was held to high regard. Like, that was probably like number one for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we can even say that show wasn't even, high on just black people. White people love the Cosby Show.
Absolutely, it's all over. I think a great show. It's not just going to be black people that love the show. It has to be a different variations of people to enjoy the show. Like, Fresh Prince was just not enjoyed by black people. It was enjoyed by white people. Like Family Matters was not just enjoyed by black people. It was enjoyed by white people. Living Single, all these Living Color, all these shows. Like, even though Living Color was more stand up, but you know what I mean. So at the end of the day, with Family Matters, is it on the top of a lot of our lists? No, it's not. When you going up against the likes of Will Smith and Fresh Prince, it's not going to match up. When you go up to the likes of Martin Lawrence, like, comedy always will kill a situation like Family Matters. And yeah, there was some comedy in it, but it wasn't like comedians like Martin Lawrence. Like, Martin Lawrence has episodes that are ingrained in people's mind that we can say word for word verbatim. Like, the characters in some of those shows just, they outtouch even Urkel's character. Sorry. Like, the third and fourth best character on Martin shits on Urkel. I'm sorry. Like, it's not even close. Like, and that's just the reality of it. But, you know what I mean? I think Jaleel White needs to just open up his eyes. You know what I mean? There's been like certain, I haven't watched the Family Matters documentary. I've heard about it. I don't know if you watched it, but you hear some of the turmoil and stuff that was going on behind the scenes, and just kind of how he held himself to high regard, understandably. Like, yeah, the show did get bigger because of your character, but at the end of the day, you just shit on other people and what their I guess what's the term for it, their contributions to the show didn't amount to anything, because your character was like, you needed Eddie, you needed Carl, you needed all those characters to kind of help build Steve Urkel up. Then, i.e., you went into the Urkel mode, you know what I'm saying? So, like Laura and all them. So, I think Jaleel White needs to just, some of the stuff he says, I get what he's trying to go at, but it comes off the wrong way. It comes out of touch, out of tune. And sometimes I just really don't think he understands the Black community at all. And he just goes with what he believes is the case in the Black community, because that statement alone just shows that he doesn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't agree with everything's got to be hood, everything's got to be ghetto, for us to be attracted to it. Yes, does it appeal to some? Yeah, it does. But
yeah, but I hate. Sorry to cut you off, but I hate that signal though. You know what I mean? Like, we see with a lot of the shows that we do have now, like especially reality TV shows, like it's turning the Black community into something ugly. That, you know what I mean? Like, it sucks, because that perception of, baddie girls, the baddies girls East Club, or whatever that fucking shit is called, and some of the shows on VH1, man, where it just shows that, like some of them shows just show like Black people can't resolve conflict without beating each other up. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's not kind of the perception that we want to have. Like, I've had disagreements with other Black people, and we were able to have conversations and work it out, not have to rip each other's hair out and do all that type of shit. You know what I mean? So, some of the perceptions on reality TV has hurt us, but I wish we can find a way to get back to the shows that we used to have. Like, I miss sitcom shows. There's not enough of them. You know what I mean? I wish we can get back to, Wayne's Brothers, Jamie Foxx shows, and Martin Lawrence and Fresh Prince. And obviously, those are some of the all-time greatest comedians of all time. And, I know comedy's kind of like in a weird spot right now. But, I wish we can find our lane back into that, because I think that was like peak Black television when we had sitcoms like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, Jaleel, you're just gonna have to, come with grips, man. Your shows just weren't better than those shows. They weren't popular than those shows, man. But you still are ingrained in history of, a lot of young Black people, and not just young Black people, young people growing up. We still watched you every Friday.
Yeah, like, I agree. Like, I think Family Matters will always be a part of some of our childhoods, but I mean, if you don't, I don't know. Jaleel White's Jaleel White.
He was Sonic in the Sonic. Yeah.
He was?
The old cartoon? The old cartoon?
He was Sonic? I didn't know that.
Yeah, an old cartoon. He did a lot of voiceovers. That's what lane he went into after, the acting.
I'm not mad at it. I think there's a lot of money in voiceovers.
Yeah. He did
a really good career in that.
Yeah. All right, man. I got a new segment, y'all. It's called Sit Your Ass Down. Where now, on Mondays we do Hell No the Week. And I didn't want to wait till Monday to give a person a Hell No the Week. So I made my own segment called Sit Your Ass Down. Now, it's not just exclusive to me. If one day Mom says, you know what, there's a person who did something that I didn't like, and I want to tell them to sit their ass down, I want to talk about it. I will give that man the floor and let him have it. Well, today, we talked about it last week. We talked about the Eagles and A.J. Brown complaining about him getting his touches, whatever. But that's not where my attention draws to. My attention draws to Mr. Brandon Graham. If you don't know who Brandon Graham is, he is the defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles, but he is hurt right now. He had a torn bicep, and he's out for the season. Well, he went on a podcast, and he spilled all the beans, and this is what he said.
Being a part of the
Where's it? Oh,
the person that's complaining need to be accountable. And I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he know this. He, I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying. And I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he respond to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed. And I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business, and that's what we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? But we need to let personal stuff go and let's get right for this game, because, man, it's like a lot of stuff, most of the time it's just a conversation that just need to be had, but the person with the problem gotta want to talk to the person other than others. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
He also alluded to that they're not cool anymore. Just putting all the business out there. Now, Mom, let me ask you a question. Let's say you was in the locker room and you had an issue with somebody. Would you want your teammate to get on a podcast and put all your business out there?
Obviously not, but look, I'm tired of the Eagles act. I'm tired of AJ Brown's act. I'm tired of Jalen Hurts shit. I'm tired of all of that, because I think they ad-lib a lot on certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I at the end of the day, I think some of these some of the acts that they do, it just gets old and tiring. Like, I get Brandon Graham shouldn't have done that on his pod, but I don't know.
If my thing is this, Mr. Brandon Graham, if you really felt that, then look, I don't know, maybe you did this, but if you felt this strong, you should have called both of them and told them this. You didn't have to put this out on a podcast. If me and I'm saying this is happening, but if me and Mal had issues, I'm not gonna get on this podcast and like, yeah, it's a conversation that me and Mal just need to have. Nah, we're gonna talk about that behind the scenes, and you guys would never know.
Yeah,
never. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happened to the sanctity of the locker room? I know people are gonna say, well, Antonio Brown messed that up. And he did to a certain extent, but there are still should be what stays in these walls should not go out there. Now, I know, unfortunately, the internet has changed things, and it's not the 90s and early 2000s where dudes got camera phones and every player has a podcast. Michael Parsons, he spills the beans every week. What's going on with the Dallas Cowboys, and that's why everybody looks at him like, shut your ass up, you just telling everything. But I'm just saying, Brandon Graham, you didn't have to get on your podcast and put all the business out there like that, brother. You could have just kept that to yourself, or you could have internalized that to your teammates.
What if he did and it just,
like I said, I don't know, maybe he did, and if he did, I apologize, my brother, but for the sake of the segment, you get to sit your ass down.
Man, sit your ass down.
Shout out to Martin. All right, man. People didn't think it would happen. Nobody thought this would ever be done. But the greatest coach of the NFL is now in the college football, y'all. He is the head coach of North Carolina, not Alabama, not Florida State, not Florida, UNC, North Carolina basketball town, the mecca of college basketball.
Yeah,
not Duke. But yeah. So, what are your thoughts, brother? You've always I know you've always voiced that you feel like Belichick can go to the college and dominate over there. But what are your thoughts, and how do you feel like he will be successful?
I think he will be. You know what I mean? I think he'll have a prominent voice in as far as within that university. He can have a big play in the ACC as well. We know the ACC has they've been kind of like, going through their motions as far as like being one of the leaders in the house as far as like national championship contenders. Like Clemson hasn't really been that, but I don't know. Like at the end of the day, I think Belichick is going to have a big kind of like, big foundation. He's going to have a big backing as far as like with this program. I can see he's been trying to like do this whole thing where he's going to have like this whole new kind of like regime as far as like he's going to implement like more of an NFL style. It's going to be more of the recruiting thing for me. And if he can do that, but, I think he's going to do pretty well. I think he will do pretty well.
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know what Bill Belichick is going to do in college. This is a whole different animal. It's not just him as far as recruiting. I'm sure he's going to have people in place for that to help him with that. But it's more so of him dealing with the boosters, dealing with, people with the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he's dealt with Robert Kraft, but he only had to deal with that one individual. You know what I'm saying? And Robert Kraft was going to do whatever the hell he wanted him to do, as long as he kept winning championships. You know what I'm saying? And he, like I said, he's going to a school that's not known for, you know, prominent football over there. It's been solid, it's okay over there, but it's not.
Yeah,
They ain't winning national championships over there. They're not, you don't look at them in the same light as a Florida State, Florida, Alabama, and Notre Dame, Ohio State, so on and so forth. So he has an opportunity to do, not in the same manner, but kind of do what Dion did with Colorado. He has an opportunity to, because there are a lot of naysayers out there. There are a lot of people who think he's going to fail because of his attitude, because of how he acts to the media, his personality. Even though I do feel like that was just towards the media. I think that,
mhm.
you've heard enough players talk about Belichick and how they say he's cool. And you've heard mic'd ups where he's talked to players and he's really cool guy, whatever. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how he interacts with 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 year old men. You know what I'm saying? Like, these
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
grown men who, who got mortgages and, kids and stuff. These are kids, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be funny to see his interaction when a kid messes up, when a kid doesn't do what he wants them to do on that field. You know what I'm saying? And managing these kids too, they got to be academically eligible. You know what I'm saying? Not doing stupid stuff off the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really gonna have to monitor. This ain't like you tell grown men like, all right, y'all, I see you on practice on Wednesday. Don't get in no damn trouble.
yeah, 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 for sure.
And I expect you to be grown. You know what I'm saying? Where this is a 17, 18-year-old kid where you got to be like, look,
Right.
did you do your test? Did you pass?
Yeah,
I need you on Saturday, son. Or Friday, whatever, whenever we playing. I need you, son. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be eligible. And then you gotta keep that kid's interest, or he might enter the damn transfer portal now.
right.
So it's a whole different beat. The same reason why Nick Saban got the hell up out of there, because he was like, I am too old for this shit. I ain't got that type of energy to be trying to get these boosters to up the NIL deals. And I gotta go in here and try to tell this kid I'm gonna give him $5 million to come to my school.
Right.
I ain't got time for all that. I'm too old. And Bill Belichick ain't no spring chicken. That's why a lot of people say you went from a coach that was 72-year-old now to a coach that's 73. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm interested to see how Bill Belichick and all that whole dynamic. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to work. It could go either way. I don't think it's no in between. Like, I don't think he's going to be a 500 coach, and I think it's either going to be great or it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
We're going to hear all kinds of scandals and kids talking shit.
Nah, for real.
Yeah, bitch ass nigga. That's why I left. You know what I'm saying? So it's either going to be great or it's going to be really bad. But he has an opportunity to shut all the naysayers up. You know what I'm saying? So, and I wish Bill Belichick all the best, man. He's at a point. He's done so much in the NFL, man. He can do whatever he wants, man. And I'm cool with that. If he want to go play, if he want to go coach college football, Stephen A. Smith, he be so disrespectful to people, man. Oh, it's beneath him. Like, come on, man. Like, those are you're saying those kids are beneath him. That's basically what you're saying. You're saying some kids is beneath you, like beneath Belichick, like because they got more prestige over in Alabama. Like, and I don't like Stephen A. talking about college football anyway because he's a fake fan anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wish Belichick the best. I hope he succeeds. I do.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right, man. This is Maul's favorite segment. Random news. It is now time for Maul's random news.
Yeah, man. Hey, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Maul has to take care of some business. Anybody's in the comment section, man. How y'all feel about Bill Belichick? Y'all let me know if y'all, you in the comment section, you're listening. Tell me, how do you feel about Bill Belichick taking the job at UNC, man? Do you feel like he's gonna succeed? Do you feel like, you know, he's in over his head because he's got to deal with kids now? Y'all let me know, man, because it's gonna be interesting to see if Bill Belichick can take this thing and run with it and do what he did with New England. A lot of people have a knock on Bill Belichick that the only reason why he was successful in New England was because of Tom Brady. So, whatever quarterback he chooses is going to be, vital to his success, especially with the transfer portal. He's going to have to get a good quarterback in that transfer portal. Also, his staff. He's going to have a good staff from the OC, DC to everybody, So it's going to be interesting to see, what Bill Belichick does in UNC, being at his age, 73 years old. It's kind of crazy. Never would have thought I would see Bill Belichick become a head coach of a college team. I thought, maybe next year he would get one of those jobs, but obviously he felt like he wasn't going to get a job next year. And so he jumped on the job that he knew he was going to get. So, like I said, we're going to find out if this is going to be, if it's going to be a disaster or is it going to be a success. And I know that's not the same because Deion is younger. He's way more vibrant. He has a way bigger personality than Bill Belichick. So you can understand that Deion, getting kids to want to come to his school, come to Colorado and play for him. But as far as Belichick goes, he's going to have to go into people's living rooms and convince moms and dads and grandmas and uncles or whoever they guardian is of said kid and convince them to come to North Carolina and play football for me. And that's going to be interesting, Do I think that he has some pitches that he can convince some kids to come to North Carolina? Of course. He's did it at the highest level in the NFL. And if a kid feels like Belichick can get him to the NFL, that'll make sense. But like I said, it'll be interesting to see if it works. Will it work? You never know. Waiting for Maul to get back. Waiting for Maul to get back. Appreciate y'all tuning in. All the 30 people that are watching right now, we appreciate you tuning in. Do us a favor and hit that like button. Whether you're listening on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit the share button. Share with your people. We greatly appreciate it. Hope y'all enjoy our episodes. We got some things on the horizon coming up, especially going into the new year. We got some things coming up. Got a big, we got somebody coming on the show Monday. Um, for all my people in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you'll appreciate the guy that we got coming on. He's gonna come on and talk about a little something, something. Um, but yeah, man. Wait for Mal to come back. Yeah, man. Shout out, like I said, shout out to all the people that are watching right now, the 30 people that are viewing right now. We appreciate y'all, man. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Cris and Mal Podcast. We appreciate y'all, man. We couldn't do this show without y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do it without you guys supporting us. We appreciate y'all, man. Mm-mm-mm. We're gonna do our NFL week 15 picks, but y'all do me a favor, man. Okay. Well, people, unfortunately, something has came up, so we're gonna go ahead and end this show right now. Apologies for for having to end the show. Uh, uh, whatever streaming platform you use to listen to your podcast, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use to listen to your podcast, Cris and Mal Podcast is available. Also, if you're first time watch on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification so when we go live on Mondays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you could tap in live with us. You could talk about these topics, man. We want to hear from you guys as much as, we want you guys to be a part of this show too. So go ahead and subscribe. Whatever social media platform you use, you can follow us at Cris and Mal Podcast, or Cris and Mal will follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk about sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. So yeah, go ahead and follow us, man. If you got critiques, feedback, you have you got feedback, critiques, you got a question or topic that you want us to bring up on the show, and we like said question or topic, sports related, music, even a movie question, whatever. We like it, we'll bring it up. We'll shout you out on the show because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So yeah, man, hit us up, man, via DM, email, or hit us up in the mentions, and we will get back to you as soon as we see it. So, all right, good people. Until Monday, Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Also, don't forget to get your get a Cristal and Mal, get our Cristal and Mal t-shirts. They are available on any of our social media platforms. We got hoodies coming soon, so stay tuned to that. But yeah, go to any of our social media and click on the Printify link, and you'll see our t-shirts, $25 plus, shipping. It'll be up to 29, but get nice shirt, black or white, and show your support, man. But yeah, man, until Monday, hope you guys have a good rest of your week. We are out.